back with our second video, and we're going to talk about Spice's Black Hypocrisy. So it's about colorism, and basically her colorism is geared towards the black community, but I would say more so Jamaica. And I'm Jamaican, so I'm going to talk first because I grew up in the culture, grew up in Jamaica, lived there for 9 years, so I have experience there. And what she's talking about is very true because growing up there, I've seen a lot of people who have bleached their skin, and it is because people do tell you that you're ugly when you're darker, and they do attach certain words to the color black. They're saying you're black and ugly, or you're black like tar and stuff like that. Like they do say some stuff. So psychologically, you do take that in and you want to lighten your skin. I even have people in my family that do it, so I understand. So, but what she is saying though is true, because they do tell you that you're too dark, but then when you go ahead and you find a way to make it better, like for them in their eyes, the community's eyes, or people on the outside, you know, they find faults with that too and say, oh, why did you bleach your skin and all that stuff. And it's like, well, you want me to bleach my skin, but now that I do it, you're having a problem with it. So I can relate to what she's saying, but luckily I didn't go down that line of taking that in and wanting to bleach my skin. I love my melanin, so like, yes, but it does take a toll on you, and I mean, it's dangerous to bleach your skin. Like, there's all these side effects and everything, but I do love the video though. Like, I love that there were so many dark skinned, like, was a really nice video. Dark skinned women. Because, you know, like now, like, we don't have dark skinned women in media, like, to represent us. Like, you don't see yourself in media. Like, you see lighter skinned people or white women, and you don't, like, your kids don't even grow up with that, you know? Yeah. Like, I don't even know, like, what do your kids, like, watch, like, to represent themselves? Because I don't have kids, so I don't know, like, what's on TV anymore.
I mean, especially for kids, Nickelodeon, like Cartoon Network's more like animated, with like Nick and especially like Disney, you don't see anybody that's like darker tone. We used to have like old school Proud Family, and even though Raven wasn't really dark, she was a black woman or a mixed woman, but you know, colored. And I think now they really don't have anything really, so especially not darker toned. Yeah.
You see nobody representing you. Yeah. So that video, I don't know, it's like corrective, like promotion for dark skinned women, you know? Yeah. You see yourself and you're like, because all of the women were so pretty. You're like, oh my gosh, yeah. So I like that video too, and I like how she did make herself lighter, and you know, she did that to stir up the world. Right. She did make herself lighter in the video. Like, what is she yeah, but she did that in the video, but then she also went and wore her natural hair. Well, I don't know if it was her hair, but it was afro, yeah. So I like that, and I don't know, it was a well done video, and I hope she can do more like that, because it was good. You can talk, because let me think, my mind is like
I really liked my take on the video. I really liked the imagery of like the women walking down the street. If you haven't watched it, please watch it first, because we're spoiling it. But she had like different women walking down the street and like holding signs that said different things. So I think one of them was like, you say I'm ugly until like I lighten my skin or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it said because it was in like patois, but I know she had like different women walking down the street holding those signs up, and they just had like different empowering messages, and I like that. And then like all the women were darker toned, so that was nice to see. And then like her words, what she said pretty much throughout the whole video was just, you know, powerful, because we don't really have a lot of that, especially with like black entertainment. We don't really have a lot of people saying it's okay to be comfortable in your dark skin. You know, like I see different threads and stuff on Facebook and it'll be like appreciation for dark-skinned women, and I've seen some where they're like blacks, like darker tone women, you know, wearing different colors, because that's another form, like, oh, if you're too dark you can't wear this color. And it's like, I don't know, I feel like I've never really heard, it's like just like growing up as a black girl, you hear different things, people might say stuff, but I feel like it's never really been something that people have brought out, you know, like media, like you guys should pay attention to how you portray black people, you know, the fact that we don't have any like dark-skinned models that are like out there that we see. If I walked past like Victoria's Secret, do I see any dark, you know, skinned people? You know, they're including like so many different types of things. Like now they're starting to include, you know, I'm not gonna say overweight, but just plus size women. You know, they're starting to like bring women in, but it's like we still have so much to do as far as like black women, because I feel like it's okay to kind of say you don't really, I don't know, because when I said this earlier, Cam was looking at me like, but I'm like, I mean, it's kind of okay to say like I don't prefer to be that tone, but I can appreciate, you know, women who look like that because they're different. You know, I have family that are black, especially black people in general, where we have so many different shades of black, you know, we're not just like one shade. So, you know, if you have family or friends or whatever that are darker toned, appreciate them just like you appreciate your light skinned friend. Like all this light skin versus dark skin stuff.
I see that on
yeah,
YouTube. Like, do you prefer a light skinned girl or a dark skinned? I'm like,
right.
Okay.
Like, I mean, I understand if you're just having a conversation with your friends and you're like, oh no, you know, I like caramel girls or whatever you call them, whatever you want to say. But when it starts to like become like, oh, you're bashing these types of women, like, oh, you're too dark for this, that's when it's like, all right, you have a problem, because, you know, it's just a skin tone. And then especially if it's from your own race, I feel like it does hurt more, because we're all supposed to be together. You know, we already get backlash from people outside our race that say negative things. Like, I really don't need a fellow black woman to say that to me. Like, do not come up to me talking about I'm too black for this, I'm too black for that. Like, don't come at me like that, because that is where I think it's like, okay, now we're getting out of line. Like, we should appreciate women, period.
Yeah.
Dark tone, light tone, whatever. And I mean, it probably goes both ways, because when we watched the movie The Hate That You Give, the girl is very light skinned. Like, she's not, she can pass off as mixed. I think she is mixed, actually.
Yeah, she is.
And people were complaining that she was too light for the movie. They were like, oh, how can you have a girl like do this movie and she's so light? And I'm like, black is black. So I understand what they meant by that, but it's kind of like, that's the same thing. How is she too light for a movie role? I
have an opposite opinion.
I don't know. It's like, I don't know. I feel like that's the same thing. How is it fair to say she's too light? Like, well, she's black. I mean, she's mixed, but she's black.
I would have an opposite opinion.
Yeah.
But, I think because in the book, because I started like listening to the audiobook of the book. Oh, yeah, so I said that right. So I think the problem is because the way she's portrayed in the book is of a darker skinned woman, and so that's a problem. But like when I thought about it, and I was listening to Chrissy, a YouTuber, her name is Chrissy. She was saying that dark skinned women are always in those roles as portraying like this warrior. I'm gonna fight the men's battle like of racism and all this stuff. So she said that she actually appreciates that a dark skinned woman isn't in that role, because it's like a kind of like a giving you the scrap roles, because we don't get like the beautiful black woman, in love and everything. It's always like struggle things that we get the roles of in movies. So she said that she's actually okay with like a light skinned woman taking it that time, So, and I was like thinking about it, I was like, yeah, it's actually true. So, I mean, I was okay with that because I thought about it and I was like, yeah, okay. But also, the problem is because like she's biracial and she's not like black, but she's biracial. So I think that's like the problem too. But we have a difference of opinion in that because
so
my own like opinion is I don't think biracial people are black, but they're white and black.
Right.
But yeah, but if you're like, I don't know, it's just if you're biracial, like you have a black parent and a white parent, black and white, then I can't see you as black because you're not like
fully
like your sister. Your sister is black because
Right.
like she's like her father is white and black.
Yeah.
So
My
and then
mom is
your
black.
mom is black. So that's black, like
Right.
But like half and half. I don't
Yeah.
subscribe to the one drop rule like how they used to do back then.
Yeah.
So, but we can be difference in opinion. It's good. It's good.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that reasoning, like, because I kind of thought about it, and I was like, well, what if in Wakanda, everybody was light skinned? It would have sent, or in Wakanda, in Black Panther, if everybody was light skinned. That would kind of send off a different message, because it'd be like, well, dang, how are you guys gonna represent, and all your castmates and cast members, whatever, are light skinned. They're not. No one's gonna be darker tone. Like, they kind of like went all out with that, because I would say 95% of the team were like darker toned, and then their hair, they fully represented whatever they wanted to represent in the movie on purpose. They did that on purpose.
Ironically, though, Amanda Steinberg, the girl that's in The Hate You Give, she said that she was gonna go to. I think she was in the audition for Black Panther to play as Shuri, and she said that she didn't want to do it anymore because she's not dark skinned. So I was like,
yeah,
I don't know. It's kind of weird how you don't want to do that one, but you did this one.
Right.
But it ain't my business. But
I guess it's because of the difference in the movies. Like, the Black Panther was like supposed to uplift and bring out all these emotions, and everybody was from Africa and everything. Well, Wakanda, but y'all know, from Wakanda, and it was like all these people were supposed to represent something, But like with The Hate You Give, it was kind of like she was like just fighting for her friend. She wasn't really, standing for blackness in a way. I don't know, it's hard to explain, because it wasn't like she was saying so much like, this is black, this is this, whatever. It was just like, I want you guys to do right by my friend, and just give him the justice he deserves. If you didn't see the movie, sorry, we are spoiling it a little bit. But yeah, so I don't know, I guess it was the message that was different. Like, if you're gonna have a movie based on like blackness and your people should represent blackness. But if the movie is like that movie was more so like justice and just saying even a white person probably couldn't have played that role and we would have been okay. But if they did, I don't think the message would have been that different. Whereas if a white person was playing in Black Panther as the main characters, if the whole team was white, it would have totally messed up the message. So I think maybe that's the difference too, depending on like what's your point, what are you trying to convey in your movie. I don't want my team to be this if I'm trying to say, well, this is good. Like, we want to uplift black people and their naturalness and their color, dark skin and everything, and their language and their culture, because their outfits and the music, like, it was a whole thing, So that might have been the difference.
Yeah, could be. Yeah. It's like we just got off the topic. But it's okay.
I know, right?
But
we're still talking about skin. So
yeah. But yeah, so I don't know, like I do like her Spice's video, but like I don't know if you probably didn't see the video. The Breakfast Club.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay.
she was on the Breakfast Club, yeah, and she said she like kind of like backtracked a little bit. Well, she didn't really backtrack, but in my mind she was like backtracking. I don't know. Anyways, so she said that what did she say? She says colorism is more important than racism. Yeah, I was like, Spice, why you gotta like mess up? So she said that basically, I think I don't want to like misquote quote her.
I know, right?
But she did like say colorism is more important than racism. Like basically, she's saying that majority of places don't go through racism. Don't exactly quote me on it, but if I find it, I'm gonna like put it in the video, so I'm not like messing with her. But like, she did say like colorism is more important than racism, and it's like, you know, colorism falls under racism, like in the, you know, on the category. So you know, I don't agree with that. So I was like, why you had to go down?
Racism is like systematic, so that's like, I don't think that that's gonna be lower than colorism, because I can't really like stop you from getting a job just because you're darker skinned. Like that's not really why, you know, colorism is an issue. It's more so like your self-esteem, like you just feel different or whatever, and you just, and then maybe like within the media, just like representation. But racism is way bigger than that. It's like generational too. It's like this has been going on for years, and it affects many different aspects of people's lives. Like I don't think. Oh,
I remember. I think she was saying like maybe other than the United States, black people don't go through racism, which is a lie. Like bro, every black people go through racism anywhere you go. I mean, I even went to Taiwan, and I'm gonna say I went through racism over there too. It's just like they are not in the United States. Everybody goes through racism, like everywhere. Like if you're black, even in Jamaica, we go through racism. Like with, like, okay, so there are majority black people there, so it is gonna be colorism. Like it won't be racism, but like it is still. See, like that's the thing. Like colorism came from racism. So because we're going through colorism, it came through racism, where the white people back in slavery days and like segregation and all that, though, although we didn't go through segregation, but it derived from that, where they separated the light skin from the black skin people, like the dark skin people, and then the light skin people, they have more like, I don't want to say privileges, because like really though. So it came from that, where they separated us and they told us that there's a difference between us. So that's where it came from. So I don't agree with her saying like colorism is like, so I was like, yeah, you kind of like went down a little bit, but I still love the video though. Like it's good message.
Yeah, I'm glad she made it so people can, you know, just kind of think about it. Like if you've ever made that, if you've ever made a mistake and kind of said something that was...
I don't think it was a mistake that she said no.
Right.
It's like the second time she's saying it, so I think she believes it.
But like if you ever made a mistake and said something about a dark-skinned person, and you know, you didn't realize that it was kind of rude. You know, just being conscientious, like, okay, that might have come off a little wrong, and I wasn't really trying to be, you know, rude. And just including people of all color. It doesn't matter if they're darker toned. You know, you should appreciate everybody's skin tone, especially if you're black and a woman. Because, you know, we're just trying to do better. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like the past couple of years, we've just been like trying to get better. Black women.
We've been trying.
Like we've been, you know, going to school, and there's been more college graduates over the years, and just family wise, we're trying to, you know, do right, drink more water, grow our hair longer. So it's just
can't see my hair today, but you know, it's there on the layer. It's a lot.
Women are just coming up. That's why we have like all these programs, you know, Black Girl Magic, and like if you think about it, there have been so many, like I feel like there have been so many more black women in leading roles over the past couple years than it has been. Like we have so many different shows where like the black woman is the forefront, you know, and like growing up we didn't have a lot of that, I feel like, and we grew up in like early 2000s, I guess you could say, you know, and it's like,
because like I used to watch like the 90s show and 80s show, and they did have like in the 70s, so they had like black people in there. But it's like, but when I like my like days, like
we don't really have anything like
that's
that I can think of. That's what I'm saying. Like that was it. As far as like just growing up as a kid. You know, I don't know about adult programs, but like just being a kid, I think we had Static Shock. I don't know if you remember Static Shock. See, he wasn't even that popular, but we had Static Shock. He was a black guy. He was a black superhero. Yeah, and he was so handsome. Me and my mom was like in love with him. But yeah, we had a static shock. But like trying to remember, you know, what did we have back then?
I guess like I watched like Cousin Skeeter. You know that? I don't know if you know that. It's like on Nick.
I think, but he's white, right? He's white.
No,
Oh, he's black.
it's a black
So
cast.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I think it's different now,
I
but
don't know. Yeah, it
the
is.
gist is just to appreciate your black.
Yeah, and all my little peoples out there, my family. Please appreciate, if you see this, appreciate your color, man. Your melanin is beautiful. Once that melanin goes away, you can't protect yourself from the sun, you know, because you know our melanin is different. Everybody has melanin, but like our melanin is different from white people and like Asian people. Like ours is like the one that like is like really good one. So like protect your melanin and love yourself. Yes, we special. we really special. And don't come at me telling that we're not special, because we are special. Everybody been telling us that we're not special for like the past like billion of years. So we're special, you know, love your skin and your beauty, you know.
We want to hear some of you guys' opinions, so don't forget to respond to this video, reply, leave a comment, and then share, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna try to develop this channel, you know, with our like icon and everything and intros and just. And if you have any subjects that you want us to talk about, like post it in the comments, and we'll try to get to them. Yeah. So I think that's the end
conclusion
of this long video.
As usual.
Yeah.
Get used to it.
Just keep talking. There's two of us. So thank you for watching, and like, share, subscribe, and comment.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.